from the perspective of determining that messaging that's going to go into the campaigns, what are some of the best methods of collecting those insights that you then use to craft, the positioning, the messaging, and copy, those sort of things? Do you have any sort of like best practices around that, around getting like that real stuff? And I say that because, like, to your point, you could look at where people went to school and all that. That doesn't matter, right? Like, I guess it's a nice thing in some cases, right? It can warm it up a little bit. It can't hurt, but if it's just fluff, the standard firmographic or data that you can get in from these like various services these days, like everybody has that, right? At this point, it's somewhat table stakes. So, how do you get the real stuff, and what does it look like?
From the field. You have to talk to your customers, you have to talk to your salespeople, your customer success team. They might not have all the answers, but they certainly have a feeling about what's going on in the market. And especially your customers, they will tell you everything that's going on. So I've seen most or several companies saying something or having a message that's not exactly the way their customers perceive what they do. There's a disconnection between what a company says and then what the customer feels, or the reason why they buy a piece of tech. So I think the more you speak to your customers, the more you understand their challenges, the more you understand the problems or the jobs they are trying to do with your tool, then you have what you need. It's more about that than, to be honest, any tech framework or whatever. There are so many great frameworks out there you can use, but it doesn't matter if you don't have that information. If you're not exposed to your customers, it doesn't matter. You won't be able to craft something that is relevant.